Hey everyone, Kamisma here. Here to do my Total Recall 2012 spoiler video. This one I'll go a little bit way more in depth than the previous one and detail all the things I thought about the movie. Try to go scene by scene. Now, I want to talk about what I really liked the most about the movie, that I noticed first off about everything, is all the references to the original movie. There was quite a few. There's when he's first talking about recall, and they're talking about one of their co-workers who got lobotomized going there, mind exploded. His name was Travis, I believe. And talk about a fantasy of him being the king of Mars, which is really hilarious because that was one of the possible fantasies for Schwarzenegger in the original movie, which was just something I caught on first of all. Of course, there's the part where he's actually looking for recall, and he comes across a fucking prostitute, and she just she just opens up her chest, and boom, there's 3 Asian boobs. Yep, she had 3 boobs. Of course, there was a chick in the Recall movie, Schwarzenegger edition, that also had 3 boobs, but you never actually saw them. At least I'm pretty sure I didn't, because I don't remember them. I knew there was one there, but that's that. They didn't have the midget stripper this time. Sad face. There was a part where he's going through the scanner to ride the fall. You know, this is after all the shit's gone down. They're actually looking for him. He's wearing a disguise. And this is old chubby lady, you know, wearing a yellow dress, has red hair, and she goes through the scanner all right, and she goes up to the counter, and they're like, so how long are you going to be here? And she's like, 2 weeks. But of course, if you watch the original movie, that's the exact disguise that Arnold Schwarzenegger wore to get through the security point on Mars when they were trying to find him. But in this movie, he's actually an Asian guy that's standing right behind her. But it was a nice little call out to the first movie, and I thought it was hilarious. In the original movie, during the final fight scenes, there was an elevator fight with the actual security guard that he killed, the wife he killed, which didn't exist in this movie this time. But they still had an elevator fight. They just had a different type of elevators. Had those 3-dimensional elevators that were magnetic trains and can go in any direction. And that was an epic fight because they had to hop from elevator to elevator, all kinds of crazy shit going on, robots facing them. I thought it was a little too much robots in the movie because it just took away from actual human-to-human interaction. But whatever. But it's like in the original movie, there was a scene where he knocks the guy off the elevator. Arnold Schwarzenegger knocks the guy off the elevator, and the guy's holding on to Arnold and trying to bring him down with him. And they're coming up to a platform that the elevator's going to go through. So basically, it's be like clean slice, and Arnold pulls himself back up just in time, and the guy's arms gets ripped off as he falls armless down to a pit. So it was very gory for it was a rated R movie originally. This one's PG-13. But in this one, it's with a robot. But the same basic principle. The arm gets ripped off by an elevator passing through a platform. So that was nice. The scene where his friend from work, Harry, is supposedly sent into his mind to retrieve him from a paranoid dissociate break. Yep, that's what it's called. And the whole dialogue of him trying to get Colin, Douglas Quaid / Hauser, to come out of the illusion or just give in so they can actually just rewrite his mind again. But the whole scene, it's like that scene was in the original movie, but it wasn't actually a friend. It was just some random guy. But the same premise still applied, is that he doesn't know what's really going on. This guy is acting it up so well. But then there's a solid tell. In the original movie, the guy's trying to get him to take a pill to knock himself out, or as the illusion was trying to be portrayed, to wake him up from the recall. But it's like as he takes the pill, before he swallows, he sees beads of sweat coming down the guy's head, and he's like, and that's when he realizes that what's going on is real. Because why would an illusion or someone who's actually there to help him, and this is all real, like what they're trying to portray? Why would he be anxious? Why would he have beads coming down his throat? He's not real. So I'll put the bullet in his head. In this movie, it's not a sweat coming from the one guy. It's actually a tear coming down Melina. That's Jessica Biel's character. And there's a tear coming down her face. It's like, why would an illusion have emotion that way? So he puts a bullet between Harry's head. So that was another nice little call out to the original movie with the same, basically scene by scene that the movie is. Some other cool things I thought about the movie. There was, of course, the world design. The world design was amazing. I freaking loved it. When they went to the actual ground level, was a little weird in Britain because everything was pristine looking. It looked like actual Britain. But of course, in the colonies, it just looked like a fucking slum. But that's the whole point: is that the colony is enslaved to the empire. So it kind of makes sense that the colony will be slummish. And it just looked great because like you go lower and lower, everything's like rusty and dirty. It was pretty awesome. But you go to the Federation and everything's clean and exact. It was a pretty good world design, and I liked it. There's also some pretty cool neon, like glowing neon tattoos. Shit was amazing. One and one. Let's see. What do I want to talk about next? Screw it. Let's just hop right into the gripes. One of the gripes I had with the movie was the fall. The fall is the transportation from the colony through the planet of the Earth to the Empire. Now, here's the thing. There's only one of them. Yet 500,000 people travel on it every single day. Now, you look inside the movie and you look at the actual size of the thing, it's about maybe 100, maybe 50. It looks short. Let's say that. Because when they're on top of the damn thing, the thing is only about 50 feet in diameter. That's not very big at all, especially when you consider how big each pod is inside of it. And there's only 3 per level of these pods. And each pod only holds about maybe 32, 34, maybe people at a time. Because like 4 rows of 8 seats, which I'm probably getting my math horrible right now. 32, yep. So there's 32, so there's 3 per level. That's 90. That's 96. And there's probably about 100 of these levels because it looked like about that. So there's 9,600 people can ride on this thing per trip, but it's like a 5-minute trip, which I think is just absolutely insane. Even with the acceleration boost of just falling through the planet, and because of the sheer weight of this thing, I still don't think it will take 5 minutes to go through the fucking middle of the planet because the thing doesn't have an acceleration mechanism. It just uses the gravity of the planet to push it to the other side, which is kind of insane. But the logistics of it just didn't make any sense to me. It's like, to me, I would not think it would be that slow. It would not be that fast. It would need some form of propulsion. God, I can't even say the word. Propulsion for itself to actually get across the side. And with only 9,600 people per trip, it didn't seem very efficient, especially since there's only one of them. Which comes into play later when they're actually invading the colony with all the rope synthetics that they got to build because Copenhagen has been faking terrorist attacks from the colony onto the empire to be able to invade them for land, because land is the actual resource, most valuable resource in this time period. Because they basically destroyed the rest of the planet, and the only things that are inhabitable are Britain, or the Empire, which is basically just Europe, and the colony. And so when they invade through the fall, I was like, why is Douglas Quaid the only person who can stop this? It's not like the colony didn't know it was coming. They couldn't destroy the fall themselves before the force got there? Really? And it's only one fall. I mean, there's like 650 million people who live in the colony. Yet 9,600 robotic soldiers are enough to take them out. The hell. They don't have any form of defense at all. They can't blow up the fall. It's the only fucking fall there is. So yeah, and then the final part is just the actual final scene where they're basically going to take out the fall and stop Copenhagen's plans. He actually fights Copenhagen. Douglas Quaid does. And fucking Copenhagen is whooping his ass. Now in the original movie, Copenhagen was just a business CEO exec. He owned the company that ran the mining operation on Mars. He was just a freaking CEO. He was just a businessman. And in this one, he's a politician. How the hell does he have this expert combat training the same as Quaid / Hauser? It's ridiculous. It's like because he's whooping his ass. And it's like just a final turn onto him. Like Douglas Quaid finally gets the upper hand against him. But it's like, come on. It was ridiculous. It was just dumb. So what are they going to do that for? Let's see. I completely forgot to actually talk about the opening scene first. In the original Total Recall, the opening scene was Arnold on Mars with some random woman, and they're talking about changing the world, I think. Well, you know, Mars world. And he falls off and almost dies because he smashes his helmet and almost dies from the lack of atmosphere. And that's when he wakes up. In this one, it's a whole escape scene with this random girl, who actually, you know, turns out to be the girl that he was longing for in the actual, you know, other life he had, same as Arnold. And he's like running. What was really awesome was a gun that they had at the beginning of the movie, and they didn't have it again until the end of the movie. Was a magnetic tether gun. Basically, it shoots coils that can wrap up your suspect or bad guy or whatever, and then it has a magnetic field in it that can actually allow you to control whatever is tethered in the thing. This is like in the original, they use it to capture them, and then later in the movie, he actually uses like to fling soldiers around. It's fucking awesome. So that's pretty much everything I got about this movie. If you want to, you should definitely go watch it. I would suggest it. I mean, is it ever going to be as good as this? Well, I didn't think it would be, and I still think this is better. But, you know, that's me. But it's a really good movie. If you've never watched this movie before, you'll love this movie. If you watched this movie before, you'll like this movie. Go watch it. I was previously stated by one of my watchers as would I actually go see a movie again? Ask that question of me. This one, I would say it's a 2-watcher. I may go watch it again because it's a good flick. I like the whole what's real and you know, who's the real Quaid / Hauser, who's real. I like that whole aspect in the movie, same as the original. So yeah, maybe if I get the time, of course. But thank you for watching, and have a nice day.